Welcome to This Week on Screens. Hollywood is panicking over the Warner Bros. Discovery Paramount merger, while the King of Pop moonwalks all over the critics. Let's dive straight into our headlines and big stories. Warner Bros. Discovery is being sold. First, Paramount made a bid. Then Netflix stepped in and was a ringleader for a while, but that ultimately did not work out. On Thursday, Warner Bros. Discovery shareholders actually voted in favor of the merger, pending FTC approval. Hollywood is not taking this lying down, however, and the petition has now surpassed 4,000 signatures and includes names like Robert De Niro, Lin-Manuel Miranda, Florence Pugh, Joaquin Phoenix, and more. The petition has launched a website, blockthemerger.com, where they've posted a letter highlighting their concerns. They write, "This transaction would further consolidate an already concentrated media landscape, reducing competition at a moment when our industries and the audiences we serve can least afford it. The result will be fewer opportunities for creators, fewer jobs across the production ecosystem, higher costs, and less choice for audiences in the United States and around the world. Alarmingly, this merger would reduce the number of major US film studios to just 4. End quote. It's a well-thought read, so we'll leave a link to that page in the description below. Check it out for yourself. Speaking of the people getting what they want, Michael, the biopic based on the King of Pop himself, released this past week to an abysmal critic score of 38%. But audiences do not care. They're walking in and moonwalking out. Because the movie has a 97% audience score as of the making of this video, making it the highest audience rated biopic ever. People are having a good time in theaters, with many reporting a concert-like experience. The movie also debuted with the biggest box office opening ever for a musical biopic, with an estimated $217 million worldwide. The question now is, can the movie shoot for the moon and cross the $1 billion mark? Okay, I'll beat it now with the moon jokes and move on to the next topic. From a box office dream to an absolute nightmare, let's talk about The Legend of Aang, The Last Airbender. Last week, the unreleased debut movie from Avatar Studios leaked online, and you could find clips and stills all over. Originally, it was believed someone at Paramount made a mistake and sent the movie to a random person, but it has now been confirmed that someone remotely accessed the servers and downloaded the movie. According to the Straits Times, a suspect has been arrested and is facing serious charges of up to 7 years in prison and a fine of up to $50,000. While many fans are happy to get a look at the film, the creatives behind the movie are having a very different experience, with an animator having this to say through a post on Twitter X. Quote, "We worked on the Aang movie for years with the expectation that it would get to celebrate all of our hard work in theaters. Just to see people unceremoniously leak the film and pass our shots around on Twitter like candy. I don't like seeing people use Paramount's awful decision to remove the movie from theaters to justify leaking it. I totally understand folks not wanting to pay for or support Paramount Plus, but pirating the movie after its release would have at least been better than this. This is incredibly disrespectful to all of the hard work the artists put in." End quote. Look, however you feel about Paramount pulling this from theaters, the fact is, anyone who's worked on this movie and contributed their creative efforts to it has a right to be upset. They put in the work, they deserve better than this. Here's hoping they still get a chance to celebrate when the movie does indeed release. Over in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, it's 2019 again. Avengers Endgame is re-releasing in theaters on September 25th, with new content connecting it to the upcoming Avengers Doomsday. This was announced at CinemaCon, but this week we heard more about it from co-director Joe Russo. This is what he had to say about the movie. Quote, "It's critically important to re-release the movie, and, in fact, we'll be re-releasing the film with footage that is set in the Doomsday story that we have added to Avengers Endgame." End quote. Many are decrying this as a desperate cash grab to generate more hype for Doomsday. They may be right. The road to Doomsday has been a bumpy ride compared to the near-perfect lead-in to Infinity War and Endgame. On a personal level though, I need tickets ASAP. Watching Avengers Endgame in theaters is a core memory for me.
I don't want to get too technical, but these are called core memories. Each one came from a super important time in Riley's life.
It was the best movie-going experience of my life. So honestly, y'all, you know where to find me when it releases on September 25th in theaters. John Wick fans, the Baba Yaga is back.
People keep asking if I'm back, and I haven't really had an answer. But now, yeah, I'm thinking I'm back.
Actually, no, he's not. But the guy who you hired to kill the Baba Yaga, though, yeah, he's back. The blind assassin from John Wick 4 will return in his very own spin off movie titled Kane, which has just started production. The film is being directed by Donnie Yen, who plays the titular star. From spin offs to adaptations, let's talk Epic the Musical. Back in the dark days of COVID, while most of us spent our time wondering if and when the world would return to normal, a college student by the name of Jorge Rivera Arons decided to be productive. He decided to make his own musical version of Homer's The Odyssey, the same story being adapted by Christopher Nolan this summer. 7 years, 40 songs, and millions of fans later, Epic the Musical will now be adapted as an animated feature film by veteran producer Jerry Bruckheimer. This is the guy behind Top Gun Maverick, Pirates of the Caribbean, and so much more. The news has led to a resurgence of Epic the Musical itself. Questions abound, however. Will the original cast return? With the original production made of 40 songs, how many will be included in the final runtime? We'll find out. In the meantime, we're just grateful any of this is happening at all. So much like Odysseus and his crew, we're off and away we go. Over onto the streaming and TV side of things, Season 4 of The White Lotus hit a bit of a snag with actress Helena Bonham Carter exiting the show during the first week of filming. An HBO spokesperson had this to say about it in a statement to Deadline. Quote, "We're filming just on the way on Season 4 of The White Lotus. It had become apparent that the character which Mike White created for Helena Bonham Carter did not align once on set." End quote. For those who don't know, The White Lotus is an HBO black comedy, drama, and anthology show that follows the murderous adventures of guests and employees of a global luxury resort chain. Basically, sex, money, murder. The usual. Speaking of crazy, goofy adventures, Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you? Netflix is hoping to take us back to our childhoods with the Scooby-Doo Origins live-action series, starring Tanner Hagen as Shaggy, Abby Ryder Fortson as Velma, McKenna Grace as Daphne, and Maxwell Jenkins as Fred. It has been a while since we last got a solid live-action Scooby-Doo project. Here's hoping this one turns out great and doesn't get cancelled as part of a tax write-off strategy like the last one was. Sticking with Netflix a bit longer, there's a Gundam movie in the works. If you have no idea what this is, think anime, giant mecha suits, politics, war, and devastating consequences. Gundam has been around as anime, figurines, manga, figurines, books, did I mention the cool ass figurines? And various other forms of entertainment since the 1980s, and its popularity has endured for a reason. They are generally great stories with major stakes, featuring characters faced with tough moral decisions, yet with relatable motivations, and fantastic mech-on-mech actions. Hopefully, the movie can capture what makes the anime special. The movie is set to release in 2027 and will star Sydney Sweeney and Noah Centineo. Meanwhile, Amazon's The Boys spin-off, Gen V, has been cancelled after 2 seasons. Critics and fans considered the second season to be much weaker than the first. While the cause is generally considered to be the last-minute rewriting of Season 2 due to the unfortunate passing of star Chance Perdomo, the fact remains that viewership had largely fallen off by the time the season wrapped up, leading to the cancellation of the show. From cancellations to renewals, Hazbin Hotel has been renewed for a 5th and final season. The Prime Video adult animated musical TV show is a black comedy about the Princess of Hell who opens a hotel with a ragtag team of sexual deviants in the hopes of rehabilitating the sinners of hell into individuals fit for heaven. It's as crazy as it sounds. It's probably not for everyone, but it's hilarious, raunchy, depressing, dark, and it will hit you in the feels when you least expect it. And the music is absolutely banging, just like a certain character does, a lot. Staying in this universe a while longer, Hell of a Boss has also been renewed for Season 3. This spin-off series is set within the same universe in a different ring of hell that revolves around the misadventures of the employees of IMP, also known as Immediate Murder Professionals, a company in hell that offers hitman services in the realm of the living. Again, as crazy as it sounds. Enjoy. Anime fans, hit anime My Hero Academia is coming back on May 2nd. The series concluded its action-packed final arc back in the fall, but we'll return one more time with an epilogue episode that will give a glimpse at our favorite characters' lives 8 years after the events of the finale. Fans are really hoping that this episode will have an expanded runtime so they can get a bit more time with Class 1A, more than they got with the final chapter of the manga. Plus, Ultra. Plus, Ultra. Plus, you know what? Whatever.
Now for a lesson. You may have heard these words before, but I'll teach you what they really mean. Go beyond! Plus!
Looking at trailers this week, DC's Clayface got an official teaser, and it's something that has to be seen to be believed. Is this not just another superhero movie? Did DC really make a body horror as the second movie entry into the DCU? I'll be honest, I saw the stills from the trailer and I was like, no thank you. I respect the commitment, but body horror is just not for me. Those of you who like that though, enjoy. You'll be eating good with this one. Or maybe not. Maybe grab a barf bag and find out for yourself. Let us know how it goes in the comments. Millennials rejoice. Practical Magic 2 has been announced. A sequel to Practical Magic, released back in 1998, the movie stars Sandra Bullock and Nicole Kidman. I haven't seen the original, but I'm definitely interested. The romantic fantasy releases later this year on September 18th. Back to superheroes, Spider-Noir got a new trailer and it's looking good. The Spider-Man spin-off TV show stars Nicolas Cage as, quote, an aging and down on his luck private investigator in 1930s New York who is forced to grapple with his past life as the city's one and only superhero. The show will be released in authentic black and white and in true U full color. Having seen the trailer in both formats, it looks absolutely gorgeous either way. The posters for the show are also excellent. Truly, check them out for yourself. The show will release May 25th on MGM+, followed by Prime Video on May 27th. Do you believe in miracles? Because here's one. Coyote vs. Acme got a trailer this week. The movie is a live-action animated legal comedy hybrid directed by Dave Green. According to Variety, the film follows Wile E. Coyote as he takes legal action against the Acme Corporation, whose products have repeatedly malfunctioned during his pursuit of the Roadrunner. Will Forte stars as Coyote's attorney, with John Cena playing opposite counsel. This movie has had a journey. Initially due to release in 2023, the movie was the third movie pulled from the release schedule by Warner Bros. Discovery, despite being completed and receiving favorable responses from test screenings. The movie was nearly deemed a tax write-off, never to be released, but was ultimately acquired by Ketchup Entertainment and will now release on August 28, 2026. Looking at what was released in theaters this week, you can find Michael, which we already covered earlier in the show, and Desert Warrior, an action epic directed by Rupert Wyatt and starring Anthony Mackie, Aisha Hart, and Sammy Bwahila. Next is Fuse, an action thriller directed by David Mackenzie starring Theo James, Aaron Taylor-Johnson, and Sam Worthington. Finally, I Swear is a British biographical drama directed by Kirk Jones, starring Robert Aramayo. The film is about John Davidson, a man growing up with Tourette syndrome in the 1980s who eventually becomes a campaigner to increase public awareness. This one landed quite well with critics, with a 97% on Rotten Tomatoes. Alright people, we hope you enjoyed the first This Week on Screens video. Before we head out, quick shout out to SkillUp's This Week in Video Games, which inspired this show. We'll leave a link in the description so you can check his channel out. What are your thoughts on the Warner Bros. Discovery Paramount merger? Are you planning on seeing the Avengers Endgame re-release in theaters? Did you keep your food down while watching the Clayface trailer? Let us know in the comments below. Personally, my couch is calling my name, and I've got the next episode of Daredevil to watch. If you enjoyed this video, like, subscribe so we can do it all again next week. Have a wonderful day.